Hey guys, Jeffrey with the Ghost Knight Gaming, and we're back after a bit of a break from Minecraft Creative, and now we're going to play with some how-tos, and I'm going to show you guys a couple of neat things that I've kind of had in the back of my head and created a couple of times. I'm going to see if I can still make it look pretty good and work here. So the first thing is going to be a rather interesting design for a gate. So we're going to start by opening up Creative. I need to clear the quick select. I just need some stone. Yeah, I'm gonna clear that quick. Clear the quick select. I'm gonna grab cobblestone just for the sake of appearance. Red sandstone. It's okay. Sorry, distracted. Okay, I will need. I might need some stone brick stairs. Actually, I'll grab some cobblestone instead. Oops. I'll just clear the darn thing. I don't want extra stuff in here while I'm working. Okay, I think that's all there. Don't really need any torches right now. I'm gonna grab some redstone. We need some sticky pistons. We're gonna need probably a couple of repeaters here. A lever or two. Okay, and I think. Oh, I'm gonna need a couple of buckets, water and lava. It'll be a bit of an experiment to play with either at this point. So, okay, so that's all the materials you need to build this one. So. If you're doing this in, if you're doing this in survival, it's going to take you probably a whole lot longer to get up to being able to build in the basics of it. Now you can improvise, and I can show you the alternate way to do it that works without needing. Of all the materials here that it's going to be the hardest to get. It's actually going to be sticky pistons, unless you do a ton of exploring and you're not playing in peaceful mode in creative or in survival. So. Alright, so step one, I just need an area to work, so we're gonna get some grass out of the way. So this makes, the premise behind this gate is to make a gate that is blocked by either lava or water. Now there's some dilemmas with blocking it with water, which I will get into at a later point. But for now, this is what we're gonna do. So step one is actually planning how large your gate's going to be. Because there's going to be a bit entailed in that. So I'm just going to do this really quick. Alright, and then we're going to put these guys in here. So I'm not going to make a super wide gate for the sake of this. Just so you guys can actually see kind of how it functions. So this will be the gate. So, you know, actual housing for what's around the gate will probably be like this. Okay. So, you can decide whether you want your gate to be able to be opened on either side. I like to have it on one side so that only the inside people can actually open up said gate. So let's build up the main gate housing. So the great thing is it's an opportunity to build a rather open-housed gate that makes great for grand walls or castles, and provides some interesting mechanics therein. Okay, so alright, so that's the start of it. So next step is actually going to be, I'm going to build that further down. I'm going to take this out and this out. Actually, I'm going to show you how to do this without sticky pistons. You don't need sticky pistons for this construction now that I think about it. You just need regular pistons. So you can do it with sticky pistons if you want to get really creative, but it's not necessary. So you get them so that they face that way. Now, things can get a little interesting here because you're going to have to figure out how to power them. So that'll be something that you've got to prepare for when you're building in. So, alright. This is where things get fun. Okay, that. So yeah, This is the dilemma when they... There we go. Okay, there we go. So now they're powered, essentially. Okay, so you have a couple of things to think about when you're planning this. Is you want to plan it to be whatever. So it's typically going to be set to standard on. Oh, well that didn't work. But they are still powered, so I think we're okay. Perfect. Okay, so they're all powered. That's good to go. So the great thing about it, here, I'm going to stop flying here. You actually can walk across it. You get a little slight bump, but it isn't going to hinder your movement, so they can still be used as a way across. Voila. Well, it's open. Well, now they have to jump. Alright, so there's a reason we've got the depth there, because we're going to need that shortly. So next step here is to work on up here. Now, this is where this is actually a two-phase kind of thing. So I'm gonna have to run another wiring off the circuit, but I'm gonna build up here. So we're gonna start by building our way across, like so. Now, where you can end up actually building in with the sticky pistons, and I'm actually going to use them here. So I'm going to create this. So now I've got this set. And depending on how wide your gate is going to be, and you're probably going to have to make it relatively wide to compensate for your devices. So put this one here, put your sticky pistons, like so. Okay. Then you're going to put these here. Now we're gonna have to power this. So our inside gate is probably gonna get be a little bit larger than normally is. Okay. Considering how redstone has a tendency to work, we're gonna do that. Now we gotta work a way to wire our way down. We can do this a couple of ways, but basically, if you build up your wall, you're going to have in like so. I'm going to start building my way down and basically just build a stairwell down. Save yourself some trouble. Work into, you know, essentially something that you probably are going to have anyway, depending on how you're building your castle. So just build a little stairwell going down. Right. I'm just going to do this just to trail my wiring. Whoops. Okay. So I want to wire straight to the device. Now there's a reason for it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in, and it's going to go off the device. So if you hit the switch, see, both activate. So that's a good thing. Next step is actually going to be run, oops, I'm going to run a repeater. Okay. And now I'm going to go, oh, get rid of that. There. Turn. Okay, turns up. This also extends it so that it'll actually make it to the other end of your circuit. All right. So now, so if you notice, there's a delay on the device. I have to run a second repeater. Darn it. Okay, I'm actually gonna have to run a second repeater right here. I hope. This should work. Okay, so running a second repeater does not power it. Okay. See, it worked down there, but it didn't work up here. Okay. there's one. There's two. Alright, I figured out how to wire up the second. Well, that's open, it won't work. Okay. Okay, so bit of improvisation. Okay, so there we go. Then we build that up there. So you may have to get a little creative to make sure your devices get power to them. Like, really creative. If anybody knows a more efficient way to wire it, please let me know in the comments below to show me how it works. Okay, so there we go. So now we have it wired. As you can see, that's all set up. The reason why I want to do that one more specifically is because it's a little bit more camouflaged once you get up here. Looks all okay, that's fine, I'm walking through, blah blah blah. Cool. Alright, so now our next step, we're going to build up a new housing around this. The great thing is we can just cover right over those pistons and it won't affect the pistons at all, which is all we need. So you're going to have this nice massive gate here. And all you're going to do, now I can fill it with lava, so we're going to start doing it that way first. And fill this with lava. Now the reason we have the delay is actually so that this piece opens first to allow, whereas you'll see in just a moment. I turn it off. What's going to happen, this is going to start spilling down. And you know how Firegate. Voila. Pretty awesome. Average person's not going to be able to get through that. It's going to keep monsters out. That's all that fun stuff. Because they're not going to be able to walk through it and they're going to die horribly if they do. The disadvantage of this... Now this is where the delay can be a bit of a problem. When this happens. The other problem that you can face with this is, if you notice, it takes a little while to kind of do its thing. So, this is why my later versions of this tend to use water. It doesn't deter the enemy as enemies or anybody blocking your gate as much. It still looks cool. But, yeah. Yeah. So we're going to let that finish doing its thing. The one dilemma you face right now is now your powering goes away pretty much instantly. Alright, so we're going to let that lava completely dissipate before I do this. And I'm actually going to turn off the delay. So there's no delay at all. And finally, we hit the switch. Thankfully, because of the nature of water, it actually doesn't spill out as quickly. Now, we have a couple other options of what we can do with this location and with this, depending on how large our door is. If we make our door only too wide, I can actually make panel pieces slide over top after hitting the switches, and this gets really complicated. That'll actually slide over and allow you to walk across it, almost like a bridge. Because the other dilemma you still face, even with instantaneous, is that water doing that. So, another option on this one, if you want to prevent that from happening, is you actually do it the opposite way, where you actually add a couple of you actually throw in some repeaters here and throw in a map delay. Because then hopefully, yeah, so you need a pretty good delay to prevent that water from spilling over the way it does. Right? So So it's a bit of a work in progress. There's options that you can probably do to better guide it more. But that's basically a rough gate that you can kind of play with, and you may have to fix it a couple of times. Or if you can power it, another option is, of course, to cover your wiring. So this obviously is right in your way, so not exactly the greatest for trying to make this inconspicuous. And depending on where you're putting your actual, so odds are my actual lever, I want somewhere off to the side. So let's say, for example, oops, I do this. I actually put my my lever for all of this off to the side a bit. I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna wire it up like so. Now, because I've done that, I've got a little bit of room to work with. So, or something that I keep not doing here is I'm gonna actually take all this out. Okay, so wire it up. Have it connect here. And then grab some stone slabs. All right, stone slab on that side, stone slab on this side. There we go. Throw in your lever, hit the switch. As you can see, the water doesn't spill out in any way that'll destroy what you've got so far. Turn it on, or turn it off in this case. Gate shuts. There you go. You're gonna have this hole here, because if you cover this... Oh. No, yeah. If I cover this, I actually cover the circuit and shut down the circuit. So I have to do that. But now the circuit's not working at all. Yeah. Now my circuit's not working at all. I screwed up my circuit. But, so I'm going to have to do some fancy wiring. But there you go. There's a look at an interesting gate that you can build. Obviously, there's plenty of room for improvement. If you guys have figured out something interesting way to improve on this gate, please let me know in the comments below. Show me your links. I'd love to take a look at them and see what you guys have done. If you enjoyed this, give me a like. Subscribe to my channel to see other videos like this, other construction projects, my previous creative stuff, other Let's Plays, all sorts of fun stuff like that. Have fun, guys. Keep gaming.